Hiya. So what we're going to work through today is establishing our start position in lying on our backs. So I'm going to talk Hattie through all the steps that we need to work through in order to create our lying start position. So the first thing we're going to do, Hats, is put both feet together. Lovely. Now turn your toes out to the side. Lovely. And then line your heels up with your toes. Perfect. So your feet are about hip width apart. Brilliant. Now put one hand onto your pelvis and rib cage. That's it. It's fine. Absolutely fine. Now what I want you to do, imagine your pelvis, so this boxy structure underneath your hand here is a bucket of water. Okay? I want you to tip the bucket of water forward. So imagine you're pouring water this way. Good. And then backwards. A little bit more movement there, Hat. So forwards and backwards. Good. And again, forwards and backwards. Good. And as you're doing that, you're making sure the top hand isn't moving. So you're doing a really good job there. Brilliant. And what we want to do now is find the midpoint. So where you think your bucket of water is perfectly level and you won't spill any water out the front or the back. Lovely. And that's our neutral spine. Okay. Now what I want you to do is pop your fingers onto the bony part of the pelvis. Good. Now come in an inch with the fingers and down an inch, and it should feel nice and soft in there. Lovely. So we're going to think about pelvic floor. Now the pelvic floor is a muscle that runs from the front to the back passage, so right underneath us, okay? Now we're going to think of it as an elevator, and I want you to lift the elevator up towards your head 3 floors out of 10, and as you do that you'll feel a gentle squeeze underneath your fingers. Okay, another thing we can imagine is we've got that low slung belt around the hips. Okay, we want to tighten the belt up a notch or two, and again you feel a gentle squeeze underneath your fingers. Good. So that means our pelvic floor is engaged. So we want to get about 30% contraction of the pelvic floor, because that co-activates with the deep spinal stabilizing muscles. Those are the muscles that attach directly to the spine. So we aim for that 30% contraction of pelvic floor, which will then get those deep spinal stabilizing muscles working, so we can then control spinal and pelvic position. All right? And throughout the whole session, if you're in standing, lying, sitting, whatever position you're in, you do need to keep reminding yourself of that, because it's very easy to forget about the pelvic floor. So just keep reminding yourself of that and switching it on, okay? Now what we're going to do is imagine we've got a spring between the ribs and the hips, okay? And I want you to squash the spring. So just tighten that spring up. Lovely. So as though you're pushing your rib cage down towards the hips, and you feel your upper tummy muscles working there. Yeah, really nice. Well done. Now I want you to smile through your collarbones. So lengthen those collarbones. Push your shoulders down and away from your ears. So just relax the shoulders back and down onto the mat. Lovely there. So you're opening the chest, you're lengthening your collarbones, and you're going to push the shoulders away from your ears. Lovely. And the last thing we need to do, Hats, is just to slide your head up the block that's underneath. Lovely. And you're lengthening through the neck. So imagine you have a piece of string tied to the top of your head, okay? And we're going to pull the string towards the wall behind you. Lovely, perfect. So that's our start position. And from here we can work through a series of exercises that go through and work on spinal and pelvic stability using all sorts of muscles, and we'll run through those. So again, guys, if you fancy having a go, film it, post it, and tag Chaps Physio. Remember, we've got a Facebook and we have an Instagram page. And remember to hashtag Team Chaps. Thank you very much.